Hello, and welcome to my Baraka guide. My name is Magic T and I am a competitive MK player from Latvia with thousands of hours played in MK11, and now I'm looking to be a top player in MK1 as well. In this video I'll show you how to play Baraka and tell you about his strengths and weaknesses, so it's also useful if you just want to see what Baraka does and how to deal with it. Before we start, be sure to subscribe to Dashfight for more character guides and check out their website for all things FGC. So Baraka in MK1 is a pretty solid character with good combo damage, good chip damage and long range attacks where he uses his extended arm blades. Speaking of which, Baraka uses his blades for every special move. Let me walk you through them. Let's start with Bleeding Blade, back forward 1. It's a high hitting projectile, pretty fast, but can always be ducked. Even if you amplify it, it's still a high, but deals a little bit more damage and has an interesting mechanic, where it makes the blade stuck in your opponent's body that applies short damage over time bleed effect, which also increases chip damage. For example, down 2 does 21 chip damage normally and 35 chip damage with a debuff. Baraka Barrage, down forward 2, is the hardest hitting special, and if you amplify it then it becomes a launcher for even more damage. Last it is an overhead, so you have to stand block it. It's also really punishable on block. Luckily in MK1 you can make all the unsafe things safe with proper cameo. If you do the same input down forward 2 in the air, you get the air dead spin. That's also really unsafe on block, but it's good to use in combos after jump attacks or just as an unexpected surprise move. Chop Chop back forward 3 is an advancing special, good to punish stuff from distance. Also goes under high projectiles, but is really unsafe on block. Amplified Chop Chop has armor, so you can use it to get out of pressure and for wake-ups. Can also be amplified after hit to get a little extra stab in the end. Not worth it most of the time, but could be good to close out the round sometimes. Stab Stab, down back 1. Is a good anti-air, also works well with some combos for combos. Second hit is an overhead, so you have to stand block it. Also unsafe on block. Best used when your opponent is airborne, because then it does this stabbing animation that does a little bit more damage, and you can choose which side to throw your opponent. Amplified version cannot switch sides, but leaves the blade stuck for bleed damage and chip damage buff. Doing same input down back 1 in the air gives you blade sparks that let you extend your air time a little bit. Attack from it is unsafe, so I cannot recommend using it too much. Amplified blade sparks can be followed up with more damage, but it's also unsafe. Now Fatal Blow is interesting. Just like MK11 you do it by pressing L2 plus R2 when under 30% health. It's really long range mid attack, good for finishing combos and to punish any kind of whiffs or projectiles from long range. And similar to MK11, you can increase your Fatal Blow damage or decrease damage from your opponent's Fatal Blow by spamming any attack button during animation. After hitting the Fatal, it also leaves the blade stuck afterwards for extra bleed damage and chip damage buff. Now let's go over Baraka's pokes and strings. For pokes, down 4 is the safest poke with good range, low profile, and it's safe on block. Good to check your opponent and interrupt their offense. If you need something faster, then down 1 is the fastest poke with 7 frames startup, but like all down 1s it's not safe and can be punished with reverse down 1. Not the biggest punish, but you lose your turn easily. Another good low option is a sweep, also known as back 4. Sweeps are pretty good in MK1 and Baraka is not an exception. It has good range and is +1 on block, so you can keep your turn and check your opponent with down 1 or even down 1 into special attack. And then make it safe with the cameo, for example. If your opponent is blocking all lows, then Baraka has one overhead option that is forward 3. It is also a launcher, so you get a follow-up combo. And because of this jumping animation, it's pretty good at avoiding and punishing low attacks. Another good long range poke is forward 2. It goes really far, so it's good to control space. If you need something that hits low, then there is back 1. That's part of back 1-2 string. It is low mid. It's also special cancelable, so it can be a combo starter. When it comes to strings, Baraka doesn't have anything too tricky. Everything can be blocked while ducking unless there is some cameo mix-up, but that's not related to Baraka directly. The only thing you need to watch out for is the forward 3 overhead, but it's slow enough to be reactable. One of the best strings is back 3-1, which hits mid, low, high. It's also a launcher, so it's used a lot in combos, but since the last hit is a high, it can be ducked and punished. It does have an alternative attack with back 3-2 which ends with a mid, so you can't duck it, but it's not safe and it's punishable on block. Other good string is 2-1-2. Decent range, can be confirmed into combo after 2 hits, And the best part is that it's 0 on block, which means you can still try to continue your offense. Another similar string is 1-2-1, but it's mostly a weaker version of 2-1-2. Only benefit is that it starts a little bit faster, 7 frames instead of 9 frames, so only use it when 2-1-2 is not fast enough. A very interesting string is the one where you just press 4 multiple times. You can press 4 once, 3 times and 6 times. It hits many times, so it's a good string to do some chip damage on block, especially if you follow it up with a special move and some cameo to make it safe and add more chip damage. Look at this damage. Over 10% life gone while blocking, and it would be even more with the bleed debuff. The only tricky part here is that you can only special cancel this string if you input 4 exactly 1, 3 or 6 times. Any extra inputs will make the special move input ignored. Not a problem if you go for medium option with 5 hits because it's still safe on block, but the full string will leave you unsafe and punishable. And now let's go into some more advanced stuff with cameo choices and combos. Since every special move that Baraka has is unsafe on block, it's good to have a cameo that you can summon while doing the special moves to keep them safe. Technically there are multiple options that can do that, like Kano with knives or Striker with grenades and so on, but the best option that I've seen is Cyrax. That is because not only he is good at covering your unsafe strings, but he also adds a good amount of chip damage. He also greatly boosts Baraka's damage and opens up unique combo options. Speaking of combos, it's time to show you how to combo with Baraka. First, I want to mention the back 3-1 string. See how it hits 2 times with the kick? When you use it in combo juggles, back 3 will sometimes hit once and sometimes it will hit twice, depending on timing and distance. Hitting twice will do more damage, but it will also increase the gravity and make the combos harder. Some combos might even be impossible with double hit, so keep that in mind. The best meterless combo comes from back 3-1. You can do it twice and then finish with 2-1 down forward 2. Another meterless option comes from forward 3 followed by back 3-1 and then dash 2-1 down forward 2. If you have meter, then it's best to start with grounded strings like 2-1, then spend the meter on amplified down forward 2. Into back 3-1, into 2-1, down forward 2. Now it's time for some juicy Cyrax combos. First of all, having Cyrax cameo enables a combo from back throw. Summon Cyrax Chopper during the back throw and follow up with jump 1-4 down forward 2. Cyrax can also improve any of your combos, for example back 3-1 meterless combo. You can finish with down back 1 instead, then summon Cyrax, and then finish with jump 1-4 down forward 2. If you struggle to hit jump 1-4, you can replace it with jump 2 down forward 2, or jump kick into down forward 2. In the corner you can do jump 2-4 into down forward 2. It does a little extra damage. The maximum damage potential comes from being close to the corner and summoning Cyrax during down forward 2. It technically works mid-screen as well, but being in the corner makes it easier to time the cameo and also lets you do a stronger ender. Here is the combo. That is over 500 damage for 1 bar of meter and 1 cameo. This is why I highly recommend using Cyrax cameo for Baraka. Big combos and good cover for your unsafe moves. That's it for Baraka Guide. I hope you liked it and found it useful. If you want to see more Baraka action or MK1 action in general, then check out my Twitch channel, it's called Magic T. I'm streaming all the time and could even be live right now. You can also check out all the things shown in this video in the text version via the link in the description. If you like this video, please leave a like or comment below with your thoughts. Thanks for watching.